Hey there, so this video is for the whip stitch. The whip stitch is super great for mending things and repairing things. It happens pretty fast, it lays really evenly and flat on the fabric, and in this case I did it in like a bright bold color, but you can do this in matching color so it kind of becomes a little bit invisible. So what we have here are two different sides of this stitch. So this is one side is a diagonal, and then I flipped it so that the back of this is hitting the face. So when you're doing this stitch, one side's going to be diagonal and the other side's going to be a little bit more perpendicular. That's up to you which one you want to have on the face. And you can make the stitches a little bit closer together, you can make them a little bit further apart. There's a lot of different things you can do. So kind of have fun, do some tests and see what you like. Okay, let's jump in. Okay, so I've got my needle and thread. My thread is knotted at the end here. I'm going to pull that up from the back. And to create the whip stitch, we're going to be making a diagonal line at first. So I'll show you this first with the diagonal in the front. So basically it's one direction is diagonal, the other one is perpendicular, and you can really see this in action in a second. So I'm going to make these little stitches, you know, about 1/4 of an inch long, but I'm going at a diagonal. So when I pull the needle to the front, I'm going to be inserting it perpendicular to the line that we're stitching. So that means it's at kind of like a direct right angle. Oh, and sometimes your knot pulls to the front. Just tuck that into the back with the needle. And there we go. So I'm going to continue those little diagonal lines, those little mini diagonals, for a few stitches so you can get an idea of what that looks like. Again, my needle is going at a right angle, but the stitches are coming out diagonally. So I'm not pulling so super tight, but I am making sure that it's holding this stitch together, and I'm making sure that I'm capturing enough of the edge that it's not going to just like unravel over time, because you want this to be as secure as possible for as long as possible. Okay, and so if I wanted something a little bit like kind of fancier looking than this classic diagonal, I would want to make them vertical. So that's what the other side of this looks like. I can't really flip this very easily, but I'll just show you the other side now. So instead of having my needle go in and out at a direct right angle to the fabric, I'm going to do that at a diagonal instead. So I'm basically like doing the back side of this stitch on the face. So now I'm inserting the needle directly on the same right angle of a line that the last stitch came out. And then behind here, my needle's hitting kind of this diagonal angle. I'm going to bring it back up out of the fabric. And those will make these cute, super cute, like little tiny stitches as opposed to these longer diagonal ones. So it's really personal taste. Again, to the diagonal. And some of the inside guts came out. And inserting it into the fabric, putting the needle at a diagonal, and bringing it back out of the fabric. And you've always got your hand underneath there helping you out. All right, and so that is how you do a whip stitch. You've got two different methods to choose from, so try it out both ways, see what you like, and get going.